You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Welcome back. This is Jake from Sports Talk here on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, and worldwide on irlonestar.com. Yeah, so like I said, the format's going to be a little different today, guys. Normally we do 4 segments, and they're a little longer on the rants, but there's a lot I want to talk about, and I don't really want to make awkward, goofy, bumbling transitions in between, going from tennis talk to basketball talk or tennis talk to football talk. So we're going to do real short, rapid-fire sort of segments coming at you fast. Lots of information, lots of fun, lots of, Wacky Jake. So I hope you enjoy Wacky Jake because Dick enjoys Wacky Jake. He's over here smiling. He loves me. All right, so as I said before we went to break, we are going to talk Wimbledon. And a quick run-through of the wrapping up of the 2017 Wimbledon Championships. That was this last week. And I apologize right now. I'm going to butcher these names because some of them are foreigners and everything like that. Murray and Hingis won the mixed doubles against Kontinen and Watson. Okay, that's hard number one. And then we got Ginstolopo and Hutchins lost to Hewitt and Philippopoulos on the men's doubles. And then on the women's doubles, Kamiji and Wiley won against Buis and De Groot. Yeah, it's the French version of Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. So, again, I apologize for, just botching that entirely. But on the big form of it, though, Venus lost in the finals, and Federer won on the men's side, that's where the history comes in from this Wimbledon, is that now he has won his 8th Wimbledon, and he has won now his 19th overall Grand Slam, and that's the second of this year, and the man is 35 years old. So right before we went to break, I teasingly said, message me if you think Federer is taking steroids. I don't really think that Federer is taking steroids. But I got to say, what he is doing at the age of 35 is incredible in a sport that was my chair. So there you go. Thanks for this. You threw me off there. I knew you could hear it. Sorry, my chair was squeaking and my co-host for the day was giving me funny faces. So, for the fact that a 35-year-old man in a sport that really just devours their young and wears them out really quick. I mean, you go look at like Murray. I mean, Murray had, his best career years, and now he's kind of dropping off. I mean, performance-wise and stamina-wise, he, Djokovic as well, and Nadal. You're seeing, and it just, the longevity in this sport itself, I think, is almost shorter than any other sport for the superstars. For the best of the best in the sport, the longevity of their careers is much shorter than the superstars of any other sport. So the fact that Roger Federer, and even if you look over on the women's side, with Serena Williams, and even Venus. I mean, she's had, she was the better sister, Venus was, when they were younger, and now that Serena has surpassed her, and Venus had some health issues and everything along the way. For the three of them to still be playing at their level for this long is absolutely incredible, and it's just a credit to them. But you kind of got to wonder, what's Federer doing different than everybody else? Like Tom Brady is a big question in the NFL realm with the same sort of topic. It's what is he doing that's different than everybody else that's allowing him to last and play this long?
Wouldn't that more be the tennis players have more credit to that because it's just them playing? Tom Brady also has like one of the best teams.
Yeah, but
look
at the physical toll that takes.
Well, I'm not taking it away from. I'm saying it's just. I think the tennis player is a lot stronger argument because it's just him playing other outstanding athletes.
And you're just hitting balls for in practice, you're just hitting balls for hours on end for 35 years. Like that's mentally got to just drive you insane. Just ball off a wall, ball off a wall, ball off a wall, ball off a wall. I would lose my mind if I had to sit there and just play wall ball with myself for 35 years. It'd be awful. And I don't think the interesting thing is I don't think Federer's done. I think Federer's going to go into the U.S. Open, and he's going to be a heavy favorite. And I think you're going to see a similar result. I know he had an easy draw here in this Wimbledon, in this Grand Slam, but in the first Grand Slam he played in the year was the Australian Open, and he had to defeat Nadal in the finals there, and he took him in 5 sets. And then the other interesting fact from Federer on this one is that he didn't actually lose a single set the entire Wimbledon tournament. I mean, that's incredible. Like, how does that happen? So, I mean, it's magical in that. So, but yeah, so Federer surpasses Pete Sampras and William Renshaw, who won their 7th titles in 2000, and then Renshaw in 18. Wow, that's got to be a typo. It's got to be 1989. There's no way it was 1889. I don't think they played that long. And then Martina Navratilova, still ahead in overall total Wimbledon championships, even though she played on the female side. She has 9 overall. So I think he has probably another 3-4 years in him, and I think he has a legitimate opportunity. I know he will tie her for the most Wimbledon titles, but I think he has a true opportunity to surpass her within the next 4 years of his career. So, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not a huge tennis fan. I said that last week. I'm more into golf, which we've got a big golf week this week as well, with the Open going on in Scotland this year. So that's going to be a lot of fun next week. Or actually this week. It starts tomorrow. And I'm really excited. I may not show up tomorrow to work, Dick. I just may call in sick because, they tee off at 1 a.m. here. So that's, it's always nice. But all right. But, hey, yeah, when we come back, we're going to take a quick break, go into our second one. We're going to get into our Gold Cup talk and finally allow my co-host, Mr. Dick Schishler, the wonderful station manager of Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, and irlonestar.com. He is our soccer resident expert. He is incredibly, incredibly smart when it comes to that sort of stuff. So we're going to talk to him about Gold Cup. Elimination play starts tonight. Let's find out if he thinks the U.S. can go all the way. Here on Lone Star Community Radio, you are listening to me, Jake Lafleur, on Jake from Sports Talk. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Dick Schishler, your favorite morning radio host on Mornings with Lone Star on Lone Star Community Radio. You're watching RC TV right now, and I want to remind you I have my own show here on RC TV every Friday morning at 9 a.m. and every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., highlighting all the interviews I do live on Mornings with Lone Star. So check me out, bookmark it, do whatever you need to do. Watch Mornings with Lone Star every Friday morning at 9 a.m. and every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. More information can be found at irlonestar.com. And this is Dick with Mornings with Lone Star.
Don't miss Lone Star Community Radio on TV and YouTube. Our talk show and music shows are featured on Our City TV, Suddenlink Channel 12, and have their own YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with posted shows and comment on them below the video.
Good afternoon, Conroe, Texas. I always wanted to do that on there, like the Good Morning Vietnam. I love that movie. Have you ever seen that movie, Dick?
Yeah.
I know you're a big movie guy. So, what's your ranking of that movie? I love Robin Williams.
He was very entertaining. It was one of those roles that he can only be the only one that does that role. So,
like the new Genie being Will Smith. I am absolutely.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
Oh, I am
tomorrow.
Furious. Yes. My station manager is also a host of his own show. It's called The Ticket Stub. If you are a movie fanatic, become a stubby. I certainly am a stubby in more than one way in this life, but I am a Ticket stubby. I love their show. It comes on, what is it, noon to 1?
Yes.
Yeah, noon to 1 here on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, and worldwide on irlonestar.com. message me on Facebook. Send me a Facebook message at Jake from Lone Star, Jake from Sports Talk, or email me at jakefromsportstalk@gmail.com. Get into the conversation. Let me know if you think the U.S. has a chance to go all the way in this CONCACAF Gold Cup. And we'll see if you agree with our station manager, Mr. Dick Sischler. But I'm seeing him shake his head, and I don't know if he really thinks he's going to... I don't think you guys are going to agree with him. I don't think it's going to be I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that's probably one of the dumber chants out of all the world chants.
Well, most English or American chants are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What makes England so good at it is they use curse words, and so the Americans should take on that role and start cursing. And then you have Mexico who screams PUNT, like all that, and they get fined now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they get fined from FIFA if they scream that word.
Side note, LSU, when they play Bama at home, they get fined every year for
worth it.
But it's worth it because of what they chant at the
yeah.
But
those are my favorite moments when you're watching a game at home,
and you're like,
wait a second, you hear that? And some stupid sound mixer guy put a mic right next to like this rowdy group of people, and you can hear him like, oh man.
If you ever get the opportunity, go Google LSU versus Bama. The entire stadium sings it. 95-year-old women, all the way down to 2-year-old babies. It is a great chant. Go Google it and enjoy it. But getting back on over to the CONCACAF, USA plays El Salvador tonight at 8 p.m. Mm-hmm. We also have starting at 5 this afternoon, a little earlier, Costa Rica versus Panama.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we got Jamaica and Canada. I didn't even know Canada had a soccer team.
Why wouldn't they have a soccer team?
I don't know, because it's ice up there. I don't know. They like hockey and what's the curling? Curling. They like curling. So I just assumed they didn't play soccer. But anyways, and then the last game the last game tomorrow night at 9:30 is Mexico versus Honduras. So
people just recently discovered Americans play soccer.
I know. Well, yeah, same thing. It's it's not our thing, but whatever.
But no, yeah, the Gold Cup is now in knockout rounds, so it's gonna be exciting. Basically, if you're watching soccer, the Gold Cup from now on, when the team loses, they're done, and then they move on to, if they win, they move on to the next round. There's 8 teams left. All the teams are pretty good. One thing too, though, for people who follow soccer in American soccer, usually the Gold Cup is used as a test tool for the coaches before the World Cup.
Qualifier. Or are we already qualified?
Well, no, we're still qualifying, but it's more of like getting the team ready for when it comes down to the wire for qualification and for the actual World Cup. They use this tournament to like test out players. So if you go to the roster tonight, you're going to see a lot of people you do not recognize, and you might see some, but a lot of them you won't recognize.
So it's putting together the best club to send...
Because you can send 23 people to the World Cup.
So they know who their starters are, most likely, right? They're trying to find out who's going to be on their bench.
But also, if the stars get injured between now and next year, they have a better idea of who's good, because they have a whole year, basically.
Is it 2018? That's the
the next World Cup is next year.
Where is it at?
I believe it's in Russia.
Oh, that's the Russian one. Oh, that's right, because they got the Winter Olympics, and then around they won those 2 back to back.
And then I believe the next one's in Qatar.
Yeah, that's the controversial one.
Yeah.
Because
that's for another episode.
Yeah, we'll do that another day.
But it's going to be exciting. I know the United States has been playing very poorly, but a lot of the new players have gotten a lot of play time, which is good.
Yeah,
so
some experience.
I think that's really what's important. What's funny about the Gold Cup and the history of the Gold Cup is known for like Mexico versus USA. Basically, that's always the big game. But but Mexico's playing the same thing. They just got out of the Confederations Cup, so their players are in the same boat. USA, they're not playing the best players. It's just kind of like they're testing things out. And so the game in itself is always exciting because CONCACAF always delivers rowdy games. People who play soccer here in the Central America and South America, and not really North America, but Central and South play really rough football or soccer. And it's just a lot of fun to watch. Ankles are going to be breaking. People are going to get in each other's faces. And so it's going to be kind of exciting.
Are we going to see any more? Or are we going to see a headbutt today?
Oh, I hope so.
Oh
yeah. No, well, if you watch like certain if you stream a lot of games, you can go to like ESPN, and then also Fox has it now. It's like you go to the game to stream, and then they have secondary streams where it's like 360 whatever, really? And you can see everything. So if you want to see a replay of like what the player actually did to the person's eye, you can see them like put their face or their finger in their eye and stuff like that. And it's It's pretty entertaining.
Soccer
but
players are so dirty. So is it a good thing, I guess, that we're in the testing mode now, that we don't need to trot out the best of the best in the Gold Cup, and where we can use the Gold Cup as
I think it's all just theory. I mean, people can, we have a new coach, so he really has to test himself and show that he can coach a team. But also it's, you're trying to field the best players, and the main goal of international soccer is to go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So this isn't a qualifier for the World Cup. So it doesn't matter really what we do in this tournament. It does not affect World Cup stuff. So it is the perfect time to do that for the rest of the qualifiers. Because
so why even have this tournament?
It's just to have soccer. You got to have soccer every summer. They got to. And
it's so hot out
if you
there.
look at the schedule for a soccer player who's the top soccer player,
like a Messi,
they don't stop playing all year round. It's very rare if they get to, because they're already in preseason right now for the major leagues over in Europe and other places. So if you look right now, if you're a diehard soccer fan, you're going to see a lot of the bigger names do friendlies in Hong Kong and other places, because in like a month or so, they're going to start the league up. So all the players who are not A-plus athletes who didn't compete in the Confederations Cup or the Gold Cup are right now playing. They're back. They got called back. And some people get breaks if they win the Confederations Cup because they got so far into it. So a lot of the German players, they're not back into the normal routine of playing right now because they won. So they're on vacation right now because they get 2 weeks of vacation basically.
2 weeks, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the world's most popular sport, and I understand it. There's a demand for it, but you think it would be just the market would be oversaturated. There'd be too much soccer.
No, people. What's interesting because there's leagues all over the world, so the timetable of watching this stuff, you can watch soccer pretty much all day.
Yeah, you can watch it literally 24/7.
Almost 24/7.
Almost 24/7.
So today's game's at 8 Central Time. That's gonna be great. And then
you think they win tonight?
Win tonight? Yeah, there's a good chance. There's a good chance of it. I think El Salvador is also one of those sneaky teams. So it's they'll get lucky on some calls, or maybe they'll get a penalty or something. But they're not known to be the strong offensive team. So
60%, 70%.
I would say it's probably gonna be 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's not bad. So then Costa Rica and Panama, we'll end up playing one of those two next. We already beat Panama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so which one out of those two you think we're going to face?
Costa Rica's going to win that game.
You think Costa Rica?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then I guess Jamaica and Canada. I'd go Jamaica just because.
Canada's been on fire.
All right,
they score. I think they've scored every game. So that's pretty good momentum going into a tournament when you've scored every game.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so
in soccer, you don't score that much. So
are you
when you do
Canada?
score, I would be surprised. I would not be surprised. Mexico's probably going to win that game.
The Honduras game.
The best game is tomorrow. It's Mexico versus Honduras. That's going to be the best game out of these four.
Is it the quote unquote championship game?
I guess you could. Honduras has a good team.
Yeah.
A couple Dynamo players play for Honduras, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Go Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, Dynamo actually signed their third DP player, designated player. So in the MLS, they have DP players, which get paid more. So for what happened in the past in soccer in the United States back in the 80s, people who had money kept signing the big-name players. And so the little teams couldn't sign big-name players, and that's what toppled the league. If you remember in the 80s, they had a really big, it's called the National Soccer League or something like that. They did back in the day. They had Pele. They signed Pele. And they signed, those kind of players. This is a long time ago. Yeah. And so basically when the MLS started, they set up rules where that can never happen again, where the league won't crumble because these people are buying these huge players and not paying anybody else. So the rule is each team gets 3 designated players, and the league itself helps pay for. So it doesn't depend on the ownership of the MLS, of the Dynamo or anything. It's the league helps pay.
So wait, they're only allowed 3.
They're only allowed 3.
And so who are the 3 for the Dynamo? Do you know?
Right now, it's DeMarcus Beasley, who plays for the United States team. He's plays right back, and then it's Eric Torres or Cuba Torres, who plays for Mexico, who's at the Gold Cup right now. And then now it's this 22-year-old they signed from a Portuguese club. His name is Thomas Martinez. He plays for Argentina national team, but he's actually a really good player. And it's nice that they're not spending the money on the big name players from Europe that are retiring, because MLS is known for a retirement league.
Yeah.
And now this is kind of, Houston's always been a team that scrounges around and trying to get the best players for the cheapest buck.
And they do a good job for the most part, right?
For the most part, yes. They've past 3 years, no. They've gotten, it's more of a coaching issue they've had. So the coach they have now, who's actually pretty good at building a nice, decent squad of what he has.
Yeah.
So this is a nice midfielder. He's number 10, which is similar to Messi, the position. When you look at soccer, looking at a soccer board, you see numbers instead of players.
Lead forward.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And
Yeah, see, I know some soccer.
so they signed him, which is good. It's kind of nice to see them spend the extra cash on something like this, because this guy has the potential to go to Europe. But this is probably his first stepping stone, that he just wanted to play over here in the Americas instead of go over to Europe. But
yeah. So, I mean, the Dynamo right now, they are third in their division. And they're down.
They play today, actually.
Oh, do they? Who do they play today? Oh, they play Vancouver, don't they?
No, they play Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
I think it's at 7 o'clock. So you can watch that game at 7
United.
o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, you can switch over to the USA game.
They're 8-4-7. So they're trailing Sporting KC and FC Dallas. Boo, FC Dallas. So, okay. Well, you kind of already alluded to it. You think Mexico's going to win the whole thing?
I mean, I think anything goes, because everyone's treating it like I just said. They just trying out players.
But so is Mexico's B team probably better than any of our B teams? Or
there's
maybe any
chance.
of our A teams?
No. I think the A team, if we played all of our starting, because right now our worst thing is our goalkeeping during this tournament.
A or B or
just right now in this tournament.
just this
the goalkeeping
tournament.
has just been horrible.
Yeah, so what I mean, we lost Timmy Howard, right? He's officially retired? No, he's not.
No, he plays for Colorado.
Oh, okay. Is he going to do the next World Cup with us?
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was saying. Like this whole lineup is just kind of experimental. So
I honestly thought he had retired. I thought he was just, because he's older. How old is Tim Howard?
But I mean, Buffon still plays for Juventus, and he's like 44. Or something.
Yeah. So I was talking about how Federer is old for his sport, and how quickly how that sport quickly chews up the young athletes. What's the average retirement age for for a star soccer player? So like, how old is Messi?
It really depends on the position, because what you'll see position shifts, similar to like in the NFL, and things like that. And it also depends on their technical ability, because that's when you as a player shines on a team, as your technical ability increases, while your speed might be slow, but you're still very technical. And a sense of, you can pass really well, or you have a lot of vision.
Yeah.
Because soccer was a lot different from soccer, and the same thing with football. I can't believe people are able to play football with all the pads on. Like that, to me, those people who catch the ball have extreme talent, because I imagine you can't see anything in that helmet.
Yeah.
And have the ability to turn around and, capture that ball. The same thing with soccer. You have all those people, and a lot of soccer players are short. So you can't imagine trying to see over these other players, and you just know in your head where these players are going to be, and they kick the long ball.
And so the goalie's got to last a little longer too, right?
Oh yeah, the goalie is usually the player that lasts the longest, and then it moves forward.
Tim Howard is 38.
Yeah.
So, and then Messi's 30, and so he's still fairly young. He looks like an old man though.
He'll probably move back to more of a center mid, and then because right now he's like center attack, and then he'll just get moving back. So basically, if you're looking at the field, it goes from goalie all the way forward with the age.
With his little beard thing that he has, he looks like he could be like a gremlin in a
Well, what's funny is you watch
movie.
again. You've watched those videos I was telling you to watch, where people try to take him down. His legs are so small, it doesn't even look like he bends them. If that makes sense. So it's like
little sticks.
that's how he's able to control the ball so well. It's like these little nubs just kind of going around. He doesn't have to kick it that far.
That's funny. That's hilarious. All right, well, thank you, Dick. I appreciate you coming on and talking soccer with me. I always enjoy your input and everything.
Well, one more shout out. Tomorrow in Houston is Man U versus Man City.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're playing that in Houston tomorrow, and I think the game, unfortunately, I think it's like 9 o'clock or something like that.
PM?
I think it's 9 p.m. I know it's a little later than usual, just because of the.
Hey, but the rain chances are going to roll out by then, I think.
The rain?
Rain chances, yeah. We're supposed to get some rain in the early evening. So
that makes. I mean, it's also the viewership. Most people who want to watch that game are probably over there and on the Pacific.
Yeah,
So.
but poor East Coast thing, they're just going to lose out. That's really cool. I wonder what those tickets are running for. When we come back, we'll find out what those ticket costs are. Thanks for tuning in right now, guys. We're going to go to a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to find out the ticket prices of the Man U Man City game, and we're going to talk some real football, some American football. Oh, we are men. You are listening to Jake from Sports Talk here on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, and worldwide on irlonestar.com. We'll be right back. Thanks.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That's Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on the computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. A Lone Star Community Radio. Broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, president of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Jake from Sports Talk here on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, and worldwide on irlonestar.com. If you have missed the first three segments, the passionate talk about soccer, Wimbledon, a little bit of golf sprinkled in there as well, and then the trade or the selling of the Rockets, don't forget you can always catch the replay of every show on Google Play, iTunes, and YouTube. Just search Jake from Sports Talk on all those platforms, and you'll find me there, as well as on Facebook. If you go to Jake from Sports Talk on Facebook, we got a full page there, and all my video links and all the audio links are on there as well. Or go on over to irlonestar.com. Check out my webpage there. Check out what other shows this wonderful station offers. And we're not just talk shows. We also have some great country music in our non-talk block segments, which our talk block segments are Monday through Friday from 10 to 3. All right, now that I've plugged the station, and I think I did a pretty good job, so you're welcome, Dick. When we last segment, we were talking about the soccer world. And right before we said that Man City and Manchester United are going to play in NRG, and it's 8:30 tomorrow, not 9. So 8:30 is what they have it on here. And tickets start at $55. Go support your, I don't know. You can't support anybody. It's foreign sport in a major company's stadium. So.
Well, what's interesting is probably something similar to the NFL will probably start doing if they're not already doing it. They do a thing called the International Champions Cup. That's what this is. And it's kind of they coordinate different places around the globe for X amount of teams compete.
But there's no.
It's like a tournament. But it's not like let's take a serious tournament. It's more of just like, let's go make some money.
It's another CONCACAF Gold Cup.
Oh, no, well, that's a little different because that's international.
Well, no,
so
I understand.
Those players have something to prove.
Okay, I
These
understand.
players are really just going on a little working vacation, and some of the younger players who are playing might have something to prove. But it's still going to be entertaining, but it's just kind of neat that all these teams are all around the world playing. And
So who on Man U would I want to go see that I'm not going to see tonight?
Well, Wayne Rooney, because he doesn't play for.
Well, obviously, because he's with Everton now.
Well, no, they're still going to play their star players, but they'll play for 10 minutes because there's unlimited.
There's unlimited substitutions in this,
so it's going to be like every 20 minutes.
So
there's
if they
going to be
take
like
them
4
off,
people.
can they put them back on? Is there no substitution rules? Because I think that's how soccer should be. Period. I think you should be able to change on the fly like hockey does. I think that'd be so much fun.
That'd be intense.
That would be awesome. So cool.
But no, that would actually be really cool. But no, it's just a cool tournament, and there's a bunch of big stars are going around the United States right now, and it's like right now J.J. Watt met up with a bunch of the Man City people, so that's kind of cool. I can't imagine how many people J.J. Watt like. I wonder if he knows soccer. I know he knows hockey. Well, where he's from.
Yeah, he's from.
But
I doubt he knows a lot of soccer, but I don't know. Great transition though, Dick, because we are going to talk some. J.J. Watt became literally the spokesperson for Houston. Like, he welcomed CP3 when he got into Houston. Like, he was one of the first people CP3 met when he got here. He meets all these people. He does all this stuff for the city. He is the spokesperson.
He's in the HEB commercials.
Everything. He is Houston, Texas. You cannot go anywhere without seeing him on some form of advertisement.
I think he just knows. He just knows.
Well, he plays it well. I mean, and he seems like a really nice
He's
guy.
probably under the table talking to Adidas. He's like, "Where's my $1 billion lifetime contract?"
Well, and he's probably going to get one too not from a company. Yeah, LeBron James is a marketing genius, and not a marketing genius and as though he's marketing for a company. He markets himself very well, and he just signed a contract.
And he's dating a Dynamo player, or a Dash, not a guy. Sorry, the
Who,
Dash.
LeBron?
No, JJ Watt.
Well, I was on a LeBron story real quick.
Sorry, I was just telling you how cool he was for Houston. I mean, he's totally bringing all the people to Houston.
Okay, he signed a lifetime. LeBron James signed a lifetime contract, 44, a 40. Oh no, I forget what it was now. There's it was for $1 billion. He signed a lifetime contract with Nike, and basically it was saying that he's got to wear Nike shoes everywhere. Which Dash player is JJ Watt dating?
I have no idea. I just know it's a Dash player.
Oh, come on, you've got to know this. You're my soccer.
I know
resident.
somebody told me like you should know that stuff, and I go, that's really neat. And then I just remember that he's dating some Houston Dash player. So,
because he Lindsey Vonn. Oh wow, Lindsey Vonn. She's the one who plays for the women's team, right? She plays for the international team as well.
I don't know.
You don't know who Lindsey Vonn is?
No, I'm sorry. This is a horrible time to ask me questions, but
wow, okay, not much into.
They've been dating for a year. Look at that. We know so much stuff about them now. This is so great about the internet.
You gotta love the Google. Yeah, she's really attractive. Yeah, she's good for JJ. Good for JJ. I'm proud of him. I mean, he could get any girl in the world that he wants, but I'm proud of him. He did good. He did good. Hopefully they get married.
How do you know? Who cares?
I don't care, but that would be an attractive.
Really,
baby.
if we care, it's just the stock or the breed. That's what we really
that's
care
what I was
about.
gonna say. Those are attractive, athletic babies that would pop out of those two. So, that's okay. Back on to more serious news. You threw me off for a loop now. Headlines in the NFL world. Ezekiel Elliott on Sunday night was involved in a late night altercation at a local Dallas bar. Now, no charges have been brought on Elliott. Nothing serious has come out of this yet. So, but according to multiple reporters, Elliott was seen at the Clutch Bar in Dallas on Sunday night, and the Dallas Police Department was dispatched to the club at 9:40 p.m., where they encountered a 30-year-old male who said he had been assaulted, and it turned out that eventually it was due to or from Ezekiel Elliott. And this guy, so for those of you who go back and watch this on YouTube, hey, Austin, can you throw up the computer image? Oh, that's cool. All right, there we go. So for those of you that are listening over the radio or on the app, I apologize that you cannot see this, but if you get the chance, go look up like what this guy looks like post altercation. His nose is literally in the shape of a Z. It's not pretty. So, but yeah, that's cool. We got this new feature where, you can, if you watch me on YouTube and you subscribe to me on YouTube and you follow me on YouTube, you can watch what I have on my computer screen. And so like different things. And so if like I have a video I'm going to show you, like the video I'm about to show you from Sherman, then you can actually see it with me while I play it over the air. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, no. So Ezekiel Elliott, and the other thing about Elliott too is he's facing domestic charges. The NFL is investigating him in domestic charges from 2016. So so far he's proven he's a great running back. Or his first year he was a really good running back. But yeah, not really showing that he's mature enough to handle $20 million. But then again, it is Dallas Cowboys, and they do seem to always attract the wild west sort of characters, the out of the box characters and stuff like that. So, other funny news, and I hate to bring up this name because I know it sparks so much controversy, but Collin Kaepernick got a little bit of career advice from Michael Vick, and it's kind of funny career advice because I think if you were to poll America, I think Michael Vick's advice would actually be wrong. So Michael Vick was talking about the Colin Kaepernick situation and how he's being, quote unquote, blackballed from the NFL. And I'm going to get in on that here in a second. But he said in order to basically become re-employed in the NFL, you must, Colin Kaepernick must apologize publicly for everything that he has done and get a haircut and change his afro to cornrows. And so I think if you were to do an American poll of which one would be scarier on Colin Kaepernick, cornrows or that big old fluffy ball of afro hair style that he has right now, I love the hairstyle, and I think it's actually kind of funny looking, and I think it would make him look less intimidating than the cornrows would. But yeah, this whole Colin Kaepernick thing with the blackballing from the NFL, just gonna quickly speak on this in the sense of I'm not going to touch whether or he, in my personal opinion, I don't agree with what he did on the field taking the knee. But also, in my personal opinion, this is America. That is a form of freedom of speech, and therefore I cannot arrest him, or I can't. There's nothing you can do to him for doing what he did. He has all the right in the world, or all the right in America, to do what he did, and that's fine. And I disagree with it, but it doesn't make it wrong, right? But now that's my 2 cents on that. Now, blackballed from the NFL. He's not blackballed from the NFL. There's no, the owners are not coming together. They're not calling each other up. They're not having these secret little meetings saying, "Ooh, let's not hire him. He's not worth the try." No, it's all it is that they're looking at this from a dollar and cents aspect. They know that he is good enough for the NFL backup role position, and they understand that, and they would be willing to negotiate him down to a understandable contract. But the problem is that they're worried that by bringing him on the team, they're going to lose supporters, they're going to lose sponsorships, and that dollar and cent sort of thing is what the problem is. He's not being blackballed in the sense of what he did is wrong, and therefore we're not going to hire him. No, it's a pure fear of, hey, look, I'm worried that if we bring him on, the repercussions from sponsorship money and from fan support is going to hurt our own wallets. Dick, you want to hop in on this?
Well, I wanted to ask that in football, people disappear all the time.
Yes.
So, I mean, would we be saying a different story if, say, Kaepernick won the Super Bowl and was one of those big quarterbacks?
I mean, he went to the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm just saying, say if you won the Super Bowl and deserved to be a starter.
Well, he's not even trying to go for a starter role. That's the thing. Like, he's not going to teams and saying, "Give me the starting position." And there's teams that need a starting quarterback, and he would be good. He would be their best quarterback option at this moment. I mean, the Jets have reached out to Johnny Manziel and have brought him in for an interview, but they haven't even contacted the agent or Colin Kaepernick at all.
Well, he does all his controversial stuff off the field.
It's the same sort of thing. I mean, you want to condemn a man who took a knee for personal beliefs?
Move on. Just find there's so many other football players that would like an opportunity.
An opportunity at what?
Playing in the NFL.
Well, okay, so yes, but how many people are as good as Colin Kaepernick?
That's a lot. I imagine.
No, I mean a lot. Where do you think they're pulling these people from? Are they going to go?
I mean, all I know from experience is watching the Texans, and they go through quarterbacks, and they seem to not find anybody.
They're all terrible. They're awful. And the Jets have somebody now, but like, you go look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay brought in. They've got Jameis Winston, who is their starter, outright their starter, no doubt about it. Just like Seattle. Their starter is Russell Wilson, no doubt about it. Both of these teams brought in Colin Kaepernick, and both of these teams said, we're bringing him in as a potential backup option. And then they turned around and they said, no, we're not going to. They interviewed him, and they said, no, we're not going to bring him on. Both of them brought on backup quarterbacks that were worse than Colin Kaepernick in the quarterback option. And Tampa Bay is paying their backup quarterback more than what they would have to have paid Colin Kaepernick. Now, from a pure sports aspect, that's not smart. But from a money aspect, I'm telling you, the only reason why this is occurring is because
I wouldn't want him on the
they
team.
are scared of what's going to happen to their fan base
But like I said,
and to the
it's
sponsors.
just one of those sports that just move on. Just find someone else to mess up. So
Well, no, like, are you telling Colin Kaepernick just to move on?
no, I'm talking about a team, because that's one thing I never really got about football is like the odds of having a good quarterback are so low. It's like I don't get it, because everyone in every small town Texas has a really good quarterback, but when they get to the age of NFL, it's like we only have like 5 good quarterbacks in this whole league.
Wait, but you look at it, we really only.
I know, that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, it doesn't make sense to me. You think you would have out of all
There
the
are
pool,
There
you
are
have
so
players.
many mediocre people, and how quickly the defensive side of the ball is so smart.
Yeah.
And they pick up on things, and that's why Dak Prescott is going to have a tough year. I don't think it's going to be as easy as what it was last year.
But like I said, it's just for players. When it comes down to weighing the value of a player, and especially when it comes to the public image, if they're not a star player, then they're just going to move on and find somebody else who's going to screw up.
yeah. So
Well, like this whole scenario reminds me of the Michael Sam scenario,
yeah.
because he wasn't that good, and he was good enough to play in the NFL, but then
But see, I don't think he was good enough to play in the NFL.
But then that's what I'm saying. They just weren't really willing. Like, you know what? Forget it. He's not
they,
good.
They took him practice squad wise, the Rams did, and they gave him a shot, and it was not worth the shot. So I mean, I gotta say, oh man, we are running out of time quick here. Wow, that was really quick. I got a text real quick on the Colin Kaepernick topic, and I knew this was going to happen if I brought him up, but
He's a good topic to start.
he is a good topic to talk about. So a texter writes in saying, a Facebook messenger writes in saying he represents his employer. He did the kneeling on his own time. So on his own time, not on his own time. Not on his own time. So yes, he was in the uniform of the 49ers when he made this statement. And I understand that. I guess that's wrong, really, but there's nothing in his contract that says it's wrong. So really, he didn't do anything, because if his contract said, okay, look, you can't make any political statements while you're wearing my jersey.
There's probably a conduct part in the contract, and it's just viewed on what the team or the manager says at this point, what's appropriate, what isn't appropriate. Because that first time, it really wasn't a big deal, but then it kind of grew on to this whole thing. Like, they literally talked about it before games. Is he going to do it? It's almost like decision 2017. Is he going to kneel again? And that's what I'm saying. Like, as a team, as an owner, I'm like, I really don't want to deal with that. I'd rather focus on the team. You're taking away from the team.
Okay. Yes. I understand where you're coming from that, but yet
I would just pay out his contract and just let
well,
it
no,
go.
he's gone. He's done. He doesn't have a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's done. So he's not making any money right now from the NFL. But my next counter argument to that is, why will they bring in somebody who beat a woman, threw her on a bed of guns, and pay him, a 2-year contract?
Are you talking about like 2/3 of the NFL?
Yeah. But they won't take a man that kneels, who is a better option, and you will have to pay less.
Yeah.
But from a PR standpoint, that's so ridiculous.
Somehow they're able to, anything that goes outside the field, they're able to sweep under the rug. But anything on the field during the game, they're not going to be able to tell people no or yes.
JJ Watt, I know you probably don't listen to this show, but if you're listening to this show, just go do whatever you want, whenever you want, as long as it's not anywhere near NRG or you're not wearing any Texans uniform. Go just as much drugs as you can consume in a 24-hour.
Just don't get caught, folks.
I
really think that's the truth.
No, you're right, and I know you're right.
Facebook Messenger was totally right. It's like he did it on the field.
I mean, yeah,
it's so stupid because everyone can throw their opinion around that. Because there's been people who wrongfully accused in the past, but more than enough NFL players get in trouble like every year. I mean, look at the whole UT squad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something. Look at Baylor. I mean,
it's just so frustrating. All right, well, hey, that's my Colin Kaepernick rant and everything. we got to wrap it up. I had a whole baseball segment and talk and everything. But first, before we go, I got a couple things I want to touch on. Yankees acquired Todd Frazier in a trade with the White Sox. That is a big adjustment over there in the AL East. Red Sox were pursuing him as well, which Red Sox are up in that division right now. So that's a interesting sort of situation playing out there. And then the new pitcher for the Cubs, Jose Quintana, however you pronounce it. I think it's Quintana. He had a great outing, great first appearance in a blue uniform. And I think that's going to be a big addition to their starting rotation and bringing them back into contention. They're only 4.5 back, I think, now of the Brewers. And then lastly, Carlos Correa injured for the Astros, and that is a huge blow. Huge blow. All right, we're going to go out on a very funny little incident that took place this past weekend at the Mets ballpark, what is it? I think it's Shea Stadium. There we go. At Shea Stadium, Chris Christie was attending the New York Mets and St. Louis game. And just listen to what happened to it. We're going to go out on it on this video. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5, 106.1, worldwide on irlonestar.com. Remember, if you miss any part of the show, go follow me on Google Play, iTunes, and YouTube at Jake from Lone Star, or Jake from Sports Talk. And so enjoy this funny little clip.
3-2 is popped up. Rivera giving a look at it. And a souvenir for Chris Christie. Are you kidding me?
How about that? You just noticed him. Boy, are you hot, I'll tell you. You just noticed him between innings, and what do you know? He gets a ball, left-handed catch. Get out of here.
Nice to see him get from the beach here to the ballpark.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.